Mr. Crook, good morning to you. Newcastle, where are we going with this club at the moment?
Good morning. Well, it looks like the Kieran Trippier saga is going to have a positive conclusion as far as Eddie Howe is concerned. We mentioned yesterday that Eddie really keen not to lose Trippier, seen as one of his senior players in this transfer window. We were expecting Bayern Munich to come back with a renewed offer, having had a 13.8 million bid rejected. But it seems like Newcastle's asking price, I'm told, of £20 million. Too rich for the Bavarians. There is still a week to go, so don't completely rule out Bayern trying one last time. But at the moment, they're suggesting they moved on to alternative targets and Trippier stays at St James's Park.
And actually, Alex, that totally fits in to the information you gave us yesterday. You got information from inside the club that, yeah, in an ideal world, we really do hope he stays, and we think he will. So you were spot on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it's been a difficult season for Newcastle out of Europe. Haven't hit the heights in the Premier League they did last. And I think Eddie Howe knows that his squad has been stretched to the limit. Kieran Trippier's recent form, I think he'll admit himself, hasn't been brilliant. But if you look at his Newcastle career as a whole, he's already a fan's favourite and arguably one of the most important signings they've made since the Saudi takeover. There is interest in a Newcastle teammate, by the way, Jamal Lascelles, former captain of Newcastle. He's on the radar of Besiktas, and the impression I get is that the player, I think, would be quite keen to make this move. He's in the last 6 months of his contract, so we wonder if Eddie Howe's stance on Lascelles may be a little bit different to that of Trippier.
I mean, I don't think Bayern Munich gave enough reasons for Newcastle to sell him for 12 million quid, what they bought him for, and the wages that he's on are not a huge deterrent. So I think the real issue is if Bayern Munich had put 25 million quid and bid him for Trippier, it'd have gone.
Yes,
but I don't think they did, and they wouldn't. As far as Jamal Lascelles is concerned, I think he'll go, and I think the reasons why he'll go is if he's on the last 6 months of his contract, then he's going to be out of contract.
Right. What's the latest with West Ham and Calvin Phillips? They're getting him this morning.
Yeah, that medical should be completed today ahead of a loan move from Manchester City. We're still a little bit in doubt as to whether there is an option to buy built into the deal. Conflicting reports on that one. I'm told we should get clarity once that move is officially confirmed. I think one of the issues is not so much the valuation. I think City looking for around £40 million, but is whether or not West Ham want to commit to his Manchester City wages beyond the end of this season, because they're paying 100% of his salary. He would be their top earner. It's a big burden on the wage bill if they make that a permanent deal.
Yeah. Ollie Murs was in studio this morning. Alex, we were talking about you, we were talking about transfers, we were talking about Manchester United, the club that he follows. So what news do you have for Ollie and others?
Well, we know that Anthony Martial is going to miss at least the next 10 weeks. I'm very dubious about whether we'll actually see Martial in a Manchester United shirt again. He's undergone groin surgery. We told you 2 or 3 weeks ago that he had no intention of leaving Manchester United this month and walking out on that big money contract because he knows he simply won't get that kind of deal elsewhere. Will Manchester United sign a replacement? There have been fanciful links with Karim Benzema. I can tell you that definitely isn't going to happen. In fact, I think it's unlikely that Manchester United make any significant signing this window, despite the fact Martial's absence does leave them short-handed in terms of the numbers anyway in the attacking position. But I think the plan for Sir Jim Ratcliffe is just to take stock during this window and then really hit it quite hard in the summer. I've just done the maths when it comes to Anthony Martial. In the last 3 seasons, Simon, he's started 18 Premier League games for Manchester United.
Well, I think we are, me, you and Souness are on a holy trinity that absolutely look at Anthony Martial as a complete and utter waste of time for Manchester United. Yeah,
it has been virtually from start to finish. Former United striker Romelu Lukaku, where's he going?
Well, we forget, don't we, that he's still a Chelsea player. Yeah. He's still the highest paid player on their books. Of course, he's out on loan in Italy. He was subject of interest from Saudi Arabia during the summer transfer window and made it pretty clear that he wasn't interested in going over to the Saudi Pro League. I wonder if that stance is changing, because there are some fresh quotes now from Romelu Lukaku, and he claims the Saudi Pro League could be one of the best in the world within the next 2 years. So is he laying down the foundations to follow the money to Saudi Arabia? Chelsea will be hoping so, because they certainly don't want him back on their books come the end of the season.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.